Hello again everyone, Mary Rose here at Stitch Bliss Corner on Mother's Day, May the 8th, 2022. In the UK it's March, I think, but it's still nice to have a special day, recognising all the sacrifice and the work and the rewards that go into being a mother. I mean, there's no way you can train for it, really. It's just on-the-job training. Nothing can really prepare you. But the rewards are really quite incredible. And yeah, it's a very, very good thing to be a mother. And I had a nice surprise this morning. Someone came to the house with flowers for me from one of my sons. And it was too big a bunch to hold here in front of the video, so I'll get Harlequin to put a picture in for me. But they're absolutely beautiful, you know, I mean, just... Can you imagine making a flower? I mean, even a petal, there's so much that goes into them. I mean, it's just, nature's bounty is incredible. Anyway, so, yes, I do go off on a tangent at times, don't I? But I was having a look at some of the famous authors and their poems that they wrote in dedication of their mothers, and there was one that I thought was particularly nice. It's just a little short one, and it's by Robert Louis Stevenson, and he was a Scottish author and poet, and he wrote Treasure Island and I think A Child's Book of Verse. I think that's another one of his. But anyway, he says, "To my mother, you too, my mother, read my rhymes, for love of unforgotten times, and you may chance to hear once more the little feet along the floor." And I think that is something that you do remember about your children, is those little feet. You know, you just settle down for the evening and you hear those little feet coming down the passageway. You know, I mean, I used to have a routine with my children. They'd have a bath, then they'd sit round me and we'd have story time. You know, a nice book to read. Each one got whatever story they wanted, or part of it if it was a book with chapters, and that sort of got them in the mood for sleeping. It was just a quiet time. You know, there's nothing worse than having kids running around like crazy and then saying, right, off to bed now. You know, I mean, that's doesn't really make any sense, really, does it? But they just had their routine, even from little babies. That I used to do that, read them books, and most of them they could read before they got to school, actually, which made for a bit of boredom for them. Maybe I should have reel back on that one, but anyway, we all have our own ways of bringing our children up, and I was just thinking how easy it is to guilt trip yourself years later, thinking, oh, I should have done this and I should have done that, but you can't be all things to your child. You can, I think the best thing really is to be yourself around them, because you can't spend your whole time acting in front of them. You know, you have to be yourself. And I think to a degree, a lot of children now, they get a little bit too much responsibility too early. I think that's why they're so stressed out. You know, I mean, I always used to say to mine, if they were going somewhere, well, here are two outfits, that one or that one. You know, rather than saying, I'll go to the wardrobe and pick something out for yourself. I mean, that's too much for some children. They want a bit of a choice, but, you know, you've got to give them a little bit of I don't know, guidance without being too bossy, you know. I mean, we used to have a little stuffed animal. It was a little dog called Dennis. And if the kids ever wanted to say something to me that wasn't particularly nice, they might have been angry with me about something. You know, they'd say, oh, Dennis says this or Dennis says that. And it was all right because Dennis had said it, not them. And I thought that was a great way of them releasing frustrations without having to be unkind to me. And I think they did appreciate that very much. You know, I mean, they're all, of course, adults now, well into adulthood, and they all are very respectful of their father and I. And I couldn't be prouder of any of them. They're just fabulous kids, you know. So I think for all the mothers out there berating themselves for how they're bringing their children up or getting angry with them and this and that, if you get angry with a child and you, let off a bit of steam and you yell at them and then you make up and you talk, that's life. You know, that it teaches them that people can get angry, but still, you know, afterwards you can resolve the problems. I mean, it's no use hiding them or suppressing them. I think that just makes things worse. But Dennis the dog did a lot of great works. I can remember once I said to one of them, I'm sending Dennis on holiday. They said, oh no, don't do that. Oh dear. Anyway, so I got off on a tangent there. So anyway, I will now update you on my Maynia piece of work that I started last Sunday. And I went in stages of videoing each evening what my progression was. And the work that I'm working on is this one. It's a little petite, and it's called Bayside Cottage, and it's by Kate Beetle. So that's the one I'm working on, and I will now go to the stages, and I shall come back to you shortly. End of day one for Maynia, and this has been my progress so far. I've done this bit here down, or I started in the middle actually, so I sort of went upwards, which is this here. So that's start, and I shall see you on day two. Hello everyone, Mary Rose again here. Day two of Maynia. I'm stitching Bayside Cottage by Kate Beetle on 18 count Ada, and this is how far I've got on day two. I've basically done down here with the building and putting some flowers in, and I must say it's just been very enjoyable. Thank you for all the lovely comments I've been getting and encouraging me. It's just been really good, and people are so nice. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow, and I shall catch up with you at the end of stitching tomorrow. End of day three, and I've finished most of the cottage there. So making steady progress, and well, it's turning out to be quite a bit of fun so far. So I shall see you for day four tomorrow. Welcome to Maynia day 4. I've finished the door and started and finished the purple flowers in the little window box, and then I'll be heading down here to do the yellow flowers there. And I seem to be flying along. So we'll see how far I get by tomorrow evening. Maynia day 5. And there's one observant person in this household, and it's not me. Because Harlequin pointed out here what I thought was a door is actually the shutter for this window. So, yes, he's pretty cluey that way. So I've spent most of the day in this area here, and then that's the bottom of the piece, and I'm going to work along there tomorrow. And there's the completed piece there. And I'll catch up with you tomorrow. Maynia day 6. And it's really coming alive now, isn't it, with all these beautiful flowers here. And I've got to the bottom and I've been working across. So we're now getting towards the stairs, going up, as you can see, going up to the cottage. Got that path coming in, just there. So progress has been very steady, and we'll see how we go with tomorrow. Yes, so that's as far as I got. Now, I must say it's been very enjoyable working on this piece, and the number of threads are holding up very well. I think I'll have more than enough by the end as well, because I keep my threads, my dimensions threads, I put them onto little spools and keep them in a container for if I'm ever short when I'm doing other dimensions. But I just don't keep them sort of bundled up like that. I do put them onto spools with their number and everything. And here's the key. And I was going to go through a little handy guide of making dimensions much easier to work on, with the chart and all that. But I thought I might do that. I will do that next time, because I'll have finished this piece and I'll be able to go through a few handy hints. I mean, some people already know them anyway if they've watched my videos, but there might be some people who've only watched this Maynia one. So I think that would be good, just to go through some of the things that make it much easier to do, because it is very daunting when you look at a dimensions chart straight out of the packet. It's enough to make you want to run out of the room. Really. And I should imagine most people, if they're thinking of starting cross stitch, they see one of those little petites and they think, oh, I could start with that because it's small and looks easy. And then they probably open it up and think, yikes, I didn't sign up for this. And so it goes into the back of a cupboard somewhere. But we'll sort that out. Now, I shall just show you this morning where I'm up to. And here it is. I mean, it is very sweet, isn't it? And as I said, I thought that was a door. But of course, it's a shutter. You can see that next to the window. Because Harlequin said to me, that's a shutter. And I thought, of course he's right. Because I did think it was a very slim door. But then I thought, well, maybe it's just artistic license, but no, that's what it is. So I don't know when I'll finish this, because there's not that much more to go, really. I mean, most of this side is, the sea and a couple of birds up in the sky and everything. So, but what I am going to do is, once I've completed the whole thing, I am going to do some French knots to give it some depth. So I thought, well, I will show what it looks like completed, and then I'll show again what it looks like with the French knots. And that'll be my next update, because I think I'll be finished it anyway. So that'll probably be my Maynia So I don't know. Maybe other people finish their Maynia early. I didn't expect that. Well, I thought I'd get it done certainly within the month, but I didn't think I'd get it done within a couple of weeks. But then I've still got the outlining to do. As you know, I don't do backstitch. I couch when I do my outlining, which is a lot shorter time taken to do that than doing backstitch, which is just, well, I think it's a mug's game, to be quite honest. But then again, how you finish your work is entirely up to you. And if you like doing backstitch, well, and if you like the look of it, well, that's just great, you know. It's just that I found it quite frustrating, and I just like to get smoother edges around things and all that, you know. People know me anyway that have watched me. They know I blather on about that. Anyway, this is only a very short one today, and I will see you next time. I hope everybody has a wonderful Mother's Day, and, you know, uses the time to reflect on their mothers, and children, you know, do nice things for your mother today. And keep it up. Don't just stop. All right, well, I'll be off now, and I shall catch you later in my next update. Bye for now.